Welcome to the last set of videos for Algebra 1 this year. So we are going to start with the opener. Our big goal today is going to be to do box and whisker plots, which you may recall from 6th grade. But yeah, that's what our big goal is going to be. So for the opener, and the opener is really just a chance for us to review material before the final. First question here is to factor the trinomial. So, since a is not 1, I am going to do my diamond. And on top, I'm going to do 6 times negative 12. And I'm just going to use my calculator, why not? 6 times negative 12. And I'm getting negative 72. And on the bottom goes b, which is a positive 1. So I'm looking for 2 factors of negative 72 that add together and give me 1. They're going to be positive 9 and negative 8. Is that correct? 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times negative 8 is negative 72, and they add together and give me a positive 1. Take note the larger number here is positive because the sum was positive. Now on top I'm going to put the 6. Then I'm going to reduce each of the side fractions. 3 goes into 6 and 9, so I'm getting 2 over positive 3. And I get the factor 2x plus 3. Here 2 goes into both 6 and 8. 3 over negative 4. And that gives me the factor 3x minus 4. Now if we want to do the quick check, we can always do 3 times 3x is 9x. 2x times negative 4 is negative 8x. And I get my positive 1x, which is what I wanted. And if you want to fully check, you could completely multiply this out and get that. Okay, so in B, it is asking me to factor the trinomial. Now it has 2 terms. So my only options are greatest common factor or my favorite, difference of squares. And the reason for this is because it only has 2 terms. So, is there a greatest common factor between 9 and 16 other than 1? No. So, difference of squares. Is 9x squared something squared? Yep, it is 3x quantity squared minus is 16 something squared. Yep, it is 4 squared. So this factors as 3x plus 4, 3x minus 4. And then lastly, solve the equation. So I immediately, when looking at this, want to, and I'm going to kind of do it. Let me be a little careful here. I'm going to do it a little bit off to the up here because this is going to be wrong. If I subtract 12 from both sides, I'll get x squared plus 8x minus 12 is equal to 0. And I'm like, ooh, I want to solve this by factoring because I know 2 factors of 12 that add to 8 are 6 and 2. There's a problem though. That's a negative 12. This actually does not factor. So, if it doesn't factor, what are my options? Well, if we go through, first choice was factoring, and I just told you it doesn't factor. Second choice was square roots. Since there is a linear term, an 8x term, I'm not going to use square roots. Completing the square, oops, CTS. Is A 1 and B even? Yes. So I'm going to choose completing the square. The other option you have is quadratic formula, which always works. So for completing the square, I have x squared plus 8x plus box is equal to 12 plus box. Take my 8, divide it by 2, and then square that quantity. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Squared is 16. 16. This becomes x plus 4, quantity squared, is equal to 12 plus 16 is 28. take the square root of both sides, I'm going to get x plus 4 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 28. Now, we have not spent much time on it, but I'm actually going to simplify this square root, primarily because I know for sure 4 goes into 28, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. So you could rewrite this as square root of 4 times square root of 7, which is 2 square root of 7. So this is x plus 4 is equal to plus or minus 2 square root of 7. Subtract 4 from both sides. You're going to get x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 7. And this is the exact answer. And if we want to write the approximate answers, we would do x is equal to negative 4 minus 2 square root of 7, or x is equal to negative 4 plus 2 square root of 7, and then just use the calculator. So, negative 4 minus 2 square root of 7, I'm getting x is approximately equal to negative 9.29, or negative 4 plus 2 square root of 7. X is approximately equal to 1.29. And that is the final opener for the year.